Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Market Psychology 101, where we practice conditioning our minds to find value where there's fear and to be cautious where there's greed. If you find anything I say to be helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. So, today in this video, we're going to be taking a look at crypto that is available on Robinhood. On my channel, I'm going to be talking mostly about cryptos available on Robinhood or Coinbase. And I did a video a week ago where I talked about some Bitcoin miners that are available on Robinhood. If you want, check that video out. Just go to my channel. It's about a week ago. We looked at Bitcoin miners because there's been some articles in the news that BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, has some stake in various Bitcoin miners. We're not going to look at those in today's video. We're just taking a look at the cryptos on Robinhood. So there's going to be three of them. We're just going to go past really quick. There's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum. We talked about those in yesterday's crypto video. There's also USD coin. So we're just going to move past those. We're going to take a look at the other 12. And the first one on the list is Doge. So as we take a look at Doge, it's just in this range right now. As you can see, just going up to levels around 8.5 cents, and maybe going back down to levels around 6 cents. So you guys are going to hear me say this a lot. I wait for things to double, triple, tap, if not more, the oversold areas of the RSI or relative strength index. Recently, we were overbought, so I would patiently wait if I were someone who likes Doge for a time to buy down here. Now, I hope this goes without being said, but if you're new to crypto, I do find this worth your time and knowledge. And it's important to remember that when crypto is extremely volatile, when it is in a mega bull run, things can happen very fast. Doge can go to $1 out of nowhere. Last bull run, Doge got to 69, 70 cents. And so who knows what it's going to do the next mega bull run. Bitcoin, crypto has been running in what's known as a 4-year cycle. You can take a look at that on this rainbow chart. And during the 4-year cycle, after the halving, in the next 2 years, we tend to run up and find our top somewhere in there. This last bull run, the top came earlier. So who knows what things are going to do next time. But if we're just going to assume that things will keep going sideways for another few months and for all these cryptos. And so if that were to be the case, I would wait for it to be oversold again and get somewhere in the 6 cent range. Let's take a look at the next Robinhood crypto, and that is SHIB. So SHIB, also very similar within the last year. You know, it's recently overbought, but it's made a lower high. So next time we're oversold, I do wonder if we're going to get back to this 700 range. And if you are someone who likes SHIB, that might not be the worst time to buy. We're going to move through these pretty quickly. Let's take a look at AVAX, also known as Avalanche. Recently overbought, broke out of its descending channel, and we're not going to draw a ton of lines here, but things were getting lower. There's some accumulation, boom, shot up. So AVAX, this looks very similar to the link chart. We'll go to that next. When it hit those oversold areas, this wouldn't have been the worst time to buy. Would have been a 2x. And I know we went lower, and at that point, it would have been like trying to buy a falling knife until you get oversold again. But here we were moving our way up pretty quickly. So over here would have been a good time to buy here, sure. I mean, it's hard to know what the future is going to hold, but as we were making higher lows in the RSI, I guess there would have been some indication that we were possibly going to shoot up. Doesn't always work, but it's one way to look at it. Chainlink, very similar to Avalanche as far as the chart goes. recently overbought on the RSI. If we take a look at the weekly to see if we're getting any sell signals, we're not getting any sell signals yet. So don't be surprised if this goes up a little higher. Maybe it'll hit this, what's that, about 16 and a half. That's how high those wicks got. If it breaks above 16 and a half, then who knows how high this thing is going. We have a lot of room to move to the upside. I do like Chainlink a lot. If Chainlink were to get anywhere back to the $11 range, I might consider buying. If it moved back down to the $8.50 range, I would strongly consider buying. But that is because I personally like Chainlink a lot. And if it ever got to $6 again, I would heavily consider buying, even if the sky was falling in the world of crypto. That's how much I like Chainlink. Let's move on to the next one. Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic. So similar to Doge and SHIB, might work its way down to the $15 level here. Yeah, it's just coiling. And when things are coiling really tight like this, we don't know if it's going to make a large move to the upside. Look at that. If it tested the highs, it'd be around 180. So you would be, from this current point, 9xing your profits. But if it were to break down violently, you might possibly lose a lot too. So move on from Ethereum Classic. Let's go to Uniswap. Uniswap, same thing. Same thing as Ethereum Classic, SHIB, Doge. Maybe wait for it to be in the $4, lower $4 range again. And if so, and if you like Uniswap, not the worst time to buy. Of course, none of this is financial advice. Litecoin, can't wait to look at this one with you guys. Litecoin is interesting to me because since 2018, it's just been in this channel. It's just been in this channel chopping around. And I know it got above here. But we're taking just a look at the overall channel. And right now we're at the lower ends of that. So if you do like Litecoin, maybe wait for it to be around this $63 range. But in the next mega bull run, are we going to see levels break above this 195, 200 range? I'm not sure. Litecoin, not as big of a play as some other cryptos out there. And in crypto, you never know. But it is just interesting that Litecoin has overall stayed within this channel ever since 2017, the bull run back then. Next one we're going to look at is Stellar Lumens, XLM. Stellar Lumens, kind of similar to SHIB and Doge a little bit. We're in the middle here. And this is my advice, and again, just my opinion, not financial advice. If there's stocks and cryptos you like, write down a list of whatever 5 to 10 they are. And my opinion, don't go nuts with it. Just create a list of 5 to 10, whatever things those are. And I like the stocks that I own to be from companies that I like, who have products that I use. Crypto, obviously, way more speculative. And so one of the things we do to our advantage is to look at the charts. Now, if you just have a list of those 5 to 10 things, look at the charts once a week, 1 minute per asset. This is all you have to do. Okay, look within the last year. Is it oversold, overbought, recently overbought? What's going to happen when it's oversold again? As you can see, as we kept hitting, if I'm holding a stock or crypto, when something double, triple taps the overbought area of the RSI, I like to see the value go up. But as we hit the overbought area of the RSI, the value's going down. So even if this were to swing up, if it's not going to break above this 13-cent range, not looking bullish. If it goes back down to the oversold area and we're here around 10 cents, then consider buying. Obviously, I like when it's within 10% of a yearly low. That's just me though. There's many different factors, indicators, things for you to look at. But if I were someone who really, really likes stellar lumens and it was in my top three cryptos, that's what I look for. And it doesn't take a lot of time to look at that. Next one we're going to take a look at is Bitcoin Cash, also known as Bcash. Some people get upset about that. Bitcoin Cash. So we recently had this run up, and then it's just been ranging. And we were stuck down here for a while since June of 2022. Finally broke out a year later. Are we going to get back down in this channel? I don't think so. I have a feeling we're just going to be staying in this range. But if I were to look at buying Bcash, I'd try to be patient and see if it gets down to this 194 range, if it's oversold again. Now it is moving up on the RSI, so maybe it's going to become overbought and get in this 250 range. But if it were to move down, I'm looking for the 190s. Let's move on to Tezos. We just have a few more. Tezos XTZ. This one looks similar to, I think it was Stellar Lumens that we looked at. I could be wrong. I know it's just a minute ago. Forgive me. But again, as you take a look, this is something I like to look for. If I own an asset and it keeps hitting the overbought area of the RSI, I like to see that price go up. As we were overbought again, the price is coming down from a macro view. So, and yes, look at this RSI. It is coiling up. So maybe this thing is coiling up to blast off and get to somewhere around the 140 range. Who knows? So it does look to me like this is going to get into the overbought zone, and we'll see where it ends up. If it only ends up around this 90-cent range, if it gets back up here again and isn't as overbought, if it's around the same level or lower and the price doesn't move higher, then I would wait until it's oversold again and be willing to guess that it gets to that 70-cent range. But again, this is assuming that crypto just chops around in a very boring way for a few months, which usually isn't likely to always be the case, especially if we get ETF approvals in January. That could throw any of these price points or predictions out the window. Again, nothing I say is financial advice, not a trader. We're going to take a look at AVE. Looking at a lot of these charts look the same. A lot of these altcoins have very similar charts. There's about 2 or 3 different charts we've looked at, but a lot of them mirror each other. So overbought RSI, overbought a little higher. RSI is curling up. Maybe the price, if this does become overbought again, my guess is the price might shoot up for this one. If it shoots up to this 250 range, watch out. But it does look like it's curling up, maybe getting ready for a violent, explosive move to the upside. If it doesn't really get above, I'm just going by the top wick over here, 124, then maybe next time we're oversold. And if we come down and are oversold from a big move up like that, I'm going to wait for the RSI to be double tapped again, because the first time it's oversold might not be as low in price as the second time it's oversold. We have one more to look at, and that is Compound. Again, these are cryptos available on Robinhood. We have another similar RSI structure. Looks like it's coiling up. When we are overbought again, is it going to shoot up? If it gets to anywhere around the 160 range, I think that's bullish. But if it doesn't break above around this $86 range, then maybe wait for it to become oversold a couple times. Anyways, guys, all of this is just my opinion. None of this is financial advice. I'm going to do another video on some of the top cryptos on Coinbase next. Obviously can't go through all of them because there are so many coins on Coinbase, but I'll take a look at maybe a top 10 with the biggest market cap that are available on Coinbase as my next video. But yeah, everything I say is just my opinion. I'm not a trader, I'm not a financial advisor. We're just using psychology to look for areas to find value where there's fear, or to be cautious where there's greed. Greed, overbought areas of the RSI. Be cautious, and we're trying to increase our time in the market as opposed to just timing the markets and gambling. So, I like to take a look at charts, at stocks, crypto from a long term investor focus, look at macroeconomic conditions. The one big thing that might change all these prices in the upcoming future would be if there was ETF approval in January. Now, if none of them do get approved, then we probably just go back down for a lot of these and continue to chop around in that channel and wait till after the halving for the next mega bull run. But again, all this is just my opinion, not financial advice, and I hope you all enjoy your weekend.